This Sekiro 3D print is a mess. I mean, look at this thing. I really need to try to figure out why this stringing is happening. I think I know what's causing it. This extra long tube that I got for the extruder, I think is too long, meaning that there's too much resistance for the filament to go through, which I think is preventing it from coming back out when the printer pulls it back out at those critical times when it's not supposed to string. But that's just a theory. Either way, let's clean this up and see how it looks. What a disaster. His sword broke off, his hand broke off. I can definitely see why this model was initially meant to be printed in parts. Oh well, back to the drawing board. And just like that, we are starting over. Sekiro is truly a mess. Between broken parts, there's another one, and just all these little markings. The base even printed okay. Really, it doesn't look that bad. But yeah, I stopped it. I don't think it's worth the filament. So I'm doing the model the way it was made to be done, in parts, which now that I've actually seen how the model's supposed to look, really makes a lot more sense. Parts that are a lot bigger. This takes up almost the entire print bed. I did the math, and it's gonna take about 604 grams of filament. I think there's about 700 left, so we should be good. And this model definitely wasn't a total loss. It taught me a lot about how to print these things intelligently. And hey, maybe there's even a cool story behind it. Sekiro without a sword and a prosthetic? That's gotta be interesting. I don't know. Let me know if you guys have any ideas. Day 2 of printing, and look how good this is turning out. The arms and legs finished up last night, and I think they look really good. And I'm not even done cleaning them up. You can see the very beginning of Sekiro's head, and the very beginnings of the coattails of his jacket, so this is gonna be a really long print. But I'm gonna use some of your guys' advice and try a blow dryer if any of these supports aren't coming off very well. Luckily, the stringing that plagued this model is no longer there. Clean. Oh. Okay, never mind. But in general, things are looking really good. I appreciate the feedback. Let's put this guy's eye back on. All better. Let me know what you guys think. Day 3 of printing, and look how good this turned out. Under all that support material is Sekiro's torso. And if you look right here, there's his head. I seriously can't stress how much better this looks. Definitely the right move to print out in parts. Now I just need to figure out why my nozzle keeps clogging in between prints. I'm also considering getting an auto level kit. I think it would just go right here, and it would mean that I don't have to do all this stuff anymore. If any of you have used it before and you think it's good, please let me know. But let's clean this up and see how it goes. Not bad at all. This looks fantastic. If I hold them together like this, you can start to get an idea of what it's gonna look like. Super sick. Now to print the base. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys think. Oh boy. That is layer shift if I've ever seen it. I had a feeling that putting it up like this wasn't gonna work. Oh well, let's slice it up into 2 pieces and see if that works better. But not before getting rid of this mess. After a lot of headache, I think we finally have something that's gonna work. Export that as an STL. And look at that, perfect. This should be a lot easier to print and hopefully shouldn't cause any layer shifts near the top. It doesn't look too bad, definitely could be worse. Oh, you know what? Why is this oriented like this? Why wouldn't I just do a little bit of that? Oh, oops. There we go, that makes so much more sense. Much better. I think I cut some hours off the time too. Here it is with supports. I'm excited to try it again. But I decided to start some of the other parts while I was working on that. We'll see how it turns out. What happened? There's bamboo over here. There's pieces over here. There's just this everywhere. I mean, look at this. This is just a bunch of filament. I don't think the bamboo is supposed to look like this. It's kind of cool though. Yeah, I don't think that this is salvageable. I guess I could try gluing it back on, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I should just try to reprint it. The rest of the print looks great though, so let's take it off and see how it looks. honestly not super excited with how this one turned out. I think I'm gonna print this side facing down next time so that kind of these weird areas where it had to start printing aren't gonna be facing towards us when we're looking at the model. Guess we'll see how it turns out. Day 5, or 6 of 3D printing, and the first half of the base is done. I wasn't able to record a ton of it, but I've had a bunch of issues with the extruder over the weekend. But after a lot of headache, I think I'm in a place where it's working okay. I also increased the E-steps to about 100, which I think is probably too much. But it did make the print turn out mostly okay. I'm not sure where to look for it, but this looks a little over-extruded. But I have some PTFE tubing coming in and a CR touch kit on Monday, so maybe that'll help. Either way, let's clean it up. I think the little edits we made in Blender may have messed up how flat the bottom is supposed to be, but it's fine to me. Mortal Blade is looking great too. Definitely have some more cleaning to do though. And here's a sneak peek of Sekiro. Oh, I'm so excited for this to be over. Let me know what you guys think. And after a week, it's done. This model looks so much better than the last one, even though it's got quite a few issues of its own. I had to reprint this bamboo a couple times because it kept colliding with itself when printing. I think the Z-Hop when retracted tool was really useful. Cura definitely has some cool features. You can see the seam here of where I split the basin into 2 parts. It's not perfect, but it printed. And yeah, there are a lot of problem areas, but I'm keeping them because I think it'll be a good thing to reflect back on if I have any better prints in the future, which I'm sure I will. Thank you all so much for the advice. I've learned so much this week. And as always, let me know what you guys think.